Hello, everybody. Today I want to do a podcast on time, giving people time. I spoke to someone once and he said to me, "What do children need the most?" The four-letter word, and I thought, love. And he said to me, yes, but time. And I think time is really important spiritually too. We live in a dimension where there is time and space. In the other dimensions, time and space don't exist or don't exist in the way we think. But down here, time does exist. And how you use your time affects how you are as a spiritual being. Time is love. It often equates to love because if we give people time, we give them love in that time. And I want you to start looking at your relationships and see who you devote the most time to. I think you might find the ones you devote the most time to are the ones that you possibly love the most. Giving people time is an act of love, and spiritually it's very, very important. Everyone who was a very good spiritual leader was always giving people time and helping people and trying to listen to them and heal them. And you'll find that when people give time, they give love. This is a very interesting thing for you to look at because sometimes we love people and we both know we love each other, but we don't actually give each other equal time. One person might give a lot and the other person gives little, or perhaps both of you don't give much time. And I think if you want your relationships to flourish, especially on an energetic level, I think you need to give time. It might be as simple as sending a text, leaving a voicemail, even sending a little card to that person, a little gift that you had to take time to get for that person. And time is something spiritually we do have down here. We do have the energy of time here. And I think it's something for us to learn to live with. Of course, time's annoying too because it has structures and you can't get it back, so to speak. Once it's past, it's past. But you can improve how you use your time. So once you start thinking about it from a point of view of healing other people, loving other people, being there for other people. So when you change energetically and spiritually with time, is what you're doing is you're making connection. Because when we spend time with people or are doing things in a time space with or for them, we are actually energetically connected to them, and that makes our relationship stronger. For example, if you're at the shop looking for a special gift for your mum, you might not actually be with your mum physically, but you are spending time with your mum, and then the product will be the gift if you're lucky. Sometimes you can't find it, you have to keep looking, don't you? But I kind of feel you know this on some level, but we talk about love a lot, and love is so important. I think time, though, is connected to love. And if you start looking around, you'll see this. You can also feel it when people don't give you time, then you will feel less loved. It's actually true. People never speak about this out loud, but they will feel that they are not included in that person's life as much, and then they don't feel perhaps as loved. To improve all your relationships, give love obviously, but give more time, and you will find that everything will get better. Some people don't manage their time very well. They get caught up and they do tasks all the time, and you might want to look at whether you are a task person or a people person. I think a lot of people are task people. They put the task before the person. For example, if your friend rings you up and says, I really want to see you, let's catch up, I haven't seen you for ages, let's have a coffee, and you say, oh, love to come, but I've got to do the washing, and then I've got to clean up the backyard, and I haven't made anything for dinner. You're actually putting the task before the person. Some things can't be left alone, but I'm sure all the things you mostly say can be, and done at another time or space that you have, because perhaps that person really needs you today and needs your time and needs your love, and now you're putting a task first. You'll find that people who come from love normally are very good with giving time. You'll find that people who come from more wanting to maintain some kind of control in their life and keep it all very organized for themselves come from more of a task orientated way that they think. They don't really come from love, they come from what they have to achieve, and it is really about controlling the environment so that it works for them. People are important. Without people, if we were on a desert island on our own, I suppose we'd really notice it. And I think it's good to invest time in people and in relationships. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't, especially with the fast way we communicate now. A little text to say I'm thinking of you today, a little gesture of goodwill towards that person by dropping something in or meeting them. This shows that you care about them and they are more important than the washing. You need to step up energetically when you do this. If you're a task person, I really implore you to put people first. Obviously, there'll be time when the task is impossible. For example, if you've got to take someone to a hospital, you can't do it. But I feel that it's a habit. I've lived with someone who was a task person. I always put the tasks and the chores first, and all the people had to wait. And what happens is usually the people just are given the time. I think it's better to be people oriented rather than task oriented. And I think that your life will actually be happy, and you can get some balance around that. The tasks can usually wait. Sometimes the people can't. Sometimes the people need us. They need us at the end of the phone. They need us to meet them. They need to see us. These are the important things. This is what keeps relationships strong energetically and spiritually. And I actually feel that when you come from love, you tend to give the time willingly. And people do really appreciate it. And maybe they don't say it, but if you've got someone on your phone who's very upset and you give them time and speak to them, that's more valuable than anything that you could actually purchase for them. And they will often remember that. They'll remember when on that day when they rang you and you just sat with them on the phone or whatever on FaceTime and just gave them time. It's a very high spiritual practice as well, and it will make you more mindful as well of looking at how you're running your life and what choices you're making. To choose love and giving people time is a higher spiritual choice. I don't think tasks, many of them are. Of course, there are some where if you're doing service work and you're down here and you're doing specialised work that you said you would do, yes, that gets priority, but not always priority all the time, just sometimes. Look around, see who are the people who do the task first and put it first. See who are the people who control the environment and won't give up the time only when it suits them. That's their selfishness, really, but it's good for you to see that. And if you're like that, maybe you want to change that. And also have a look around at the people who are loving and will always give you time, will drop everything for you. These are the gems, these are the stars in heaven that you've been given. That person that you could ring at 3 a.m. and sort of, they will be there for you. Groggy, but they will be there for you. And this is a real connection, and it's a soul connection, because the soul does this. The soul will work in this way. The human will finish the task off, but the soul and will be unselfish and will be giving. The human can be somewhat selfish and not that giving at times. On a spiritual level, it's a great practice. See if you can improve yourself there. If you're one of the people who gives lots of time, I say thank you to you because of all the people you've helped. Of course, you need to have boundaries, but you will know how to do that. And if you're a person who's a little bit task-oriented, maybe you can just shift that and practice putting people first and their needs first, and not your own, and not the needs of the task, because at the end of the day, It doesn't really matter when you do the washing. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I enjoyed doing this one because I thought love and time were intrinsically linked, aren't they? Have a good week, and I'm sending you lots of love and lots of light.